morning, good morning, good morning. It is Saturday, February 1st. You guys, we made it through January. Look at that. We finally made it through January. Didn't that seem like the longest month ever? January seemed like the longest month ever to me. A lot of good things, a lot of productive things, but just, man, it just was it was the month that kept on going and going and going. So sorry I've missed a couple of days. I have been exceedingly busy between school and a couple of broadcasts, many broadcasts I've had to do, and just spending time with my kids, right? You need to spend time with those that you love. And this week was no different. I needed to. I got to do a lot of things with my kids, plays and just a lot of fun things. But it's good to wake up early with you and do the puzzles. So let's do it. Let's start off with connections. All right, creating 4 groups of 4. We've got match, shade, challenge, clue, contests, suspect, chord, tone, deal, hue, detective, question, pose, alibi, dispute, and tinge. Wow, I see a lot of different things. I see some having to do with like like a detective questioning, dispute, question, contest, and challenge. Those look like they go together. Okay. Oh, the blue category. Interesting. A tone, shade, hue, and tinge of color. Okay. And then yet again, as we always do, we always get the easy one and the hard one for last. Suspect, detective, alibi, and clue. Those sound like they go together. Okay, components of a mystery. Great. Pose with a question, pose a question, deal with, match. I don't know how these go together. Strike a chord. Okay, yeah. That crossed my mind, but strike a chord, strike a deal, strike a match, and strike a pose. That's cute. All right. Hey, we did great. We did it in record time, too. Look at that. Did not take us long. Take issue with is to challenge, to contest, to dispute, or to question. Tint is hue or shade or tinge or tone. Components of a mystery might be your alibi, clues, detective, and suspect. It's funny how some words from your life come up in the puzzles, almost like a horoscope or something. I don't believe in that sort of thing, but it is very interesting, coincidental, who knows what, that some things pop up and you're like, oh, I have a connection to that. The play that my child is in is called Clue, based on the old movie. It's hilarious. It's so funny. And 25% of the script is ad-libbed on the fly. It's so funny. And very self-aware, and they break the fourth wall once or twice. Just really great. It's very funny. Strike a chord, strike a deal, strike a match, and strike a pose. Cool. All right. Let's play. Okay, so computing platform. Anytime there's a question mark, it's like a stretch answer. So like a computing platform, you think Windows or Apple. I wonder if the computing platform is just a desk. Right? Campanelle is a bell-shaped variety of this. I want to say it's a mushroom. That doesn't fit there. Bell-shaped shroom, fungus, spore. What would fit there? Spore would fit there, but that's not really what you say. Oh gosh, I don't watch the Today Show. I'm at school during the Today Show, so I don't know that one. Ooh, some of these are longer. Look how long these are at the end here. Kickstarter supporters are backers. B-A-C-K-E-R-S. Does that fit? Backers? Okay. Landlocked neighbor of Georgia and Azerbaijan. How do you say that one? Azerbaijan, some people say. Azerbaijan. Let's go with that. Azerbaijan. Landlocked. I don't know. We're going to need some letters for that one. That is not geography that I know super well. Sneaks a peek. I don't know. There's a couple words and they're all long. So, had a feeling about. Like a hunch. Let's see. H. That doesn't fit either. I was going to say thought. But that's too many extra letters in that one. O-U and G-H. Let's come to the down puzzle. See if some of the down hints might help us. Grows dim. Maybe darkens. Magazine whose 50th anniversary issue featured Naomi Campbell on the cover. What are magazines with an E? I was going to say Empire or Esquire. We'll come back to it. Legendary as one's past. I don't know. We'll come back to that one too. State school whose students chant Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. What? I don't know. Pellet chomping arcade character. Pac-Man. Definitely. Oh, Eric. Oh, shoot. From The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Author of The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That was Eric. Dahl. No, not Dahl. Eric. Oh, I haven't read that one to my kids in a little while. Shoot. Items strapped to a golf cart. Bags. Okay, well, going to the down hints gave us a couple of these, so let's see what else we can pull out. Campanelle is a bell-shaped variety of panda. I don't know. We need to come back to that one. I thought that one was like chanterelles and all the other mushrooms. Maybe I'm wrong. See, I don't watch the Today Show. I don't watch the Daily Show either. It's too early and too late. Landlocked neighbor of Georgia and Azerbaijan. I think that's Armenia. Sneaks a peek. Why am I not thinking of this word? I should know this. What goes there? Gurgiel. whoa, don't do that. See, I've got this problem on my laptop where it doubles letters sometimes, and I just hate it. Oh well, that one actually was a good thing that it doubled the letter. Senses. Or sensed. Let's say sensed. Because it's had a feeling about. Sensed. Magazine whose 50th anniversary issue featured Naomi Campbell. I can't. Why am I not thinking of that? Legendary as one's past. Oh, storied. Right? Storied. A storied past. State school whose students chant Rock Chalk Jayhawk. I don't know. Oh, Eric Carl. That's his name. Eric Carl. Thank you. Thank you for those other letters. Yeah. Okay, now that we have those, what are these? Bell-shaped variety of... Oh, pasta. Campanelle. What's a campanelle? Well, it's bell-shaped pasta. I know that. I haven't seen a picture of it, though. I wonder. Sneaks a peek. Glances. Magazine whose 50th anniversary issue featured Naomi Campbell on the cover. Essence? I've never heard of Essence magazine. It's been around for 50 years, apparently. State school. Oh, Kansas? It's Kansas. So then who's Carson Daly? Oh, Carson Daly. I do know that name. I know that name. Carson Daly. Okay. I'm just... You see something in one context and then you know, think of it in a different context. You can't put those two things together. It's funny. All right. A computing platform, question mark. So question mark means like it's a stretch answer. It's a gimmick answer. And so computing platform that's not Apple or PC or Linux or whatever. It's a desk. Campanelle is a bell-shaped variety. Now, I'm actually going to look this up. Sorry to vary from script here, but a campanelle. I want to know. Oh, it's cute. That is pasta I would totally eat. Right? How cute is that? Here, let's push it over here so you can see it better. It looks like a little, like a screw. Looks like a drywall anchor. You want to eat drywall anchors. That's cute. Okay, well that's a campanelle. You learned something new today. Carson Daly. I kept thinking John Daly. He's a golfer. Carson Daly. Wasn't he on? I want to say that he was part of MTV. Started on MTV. Because I don't know him from the Daily Show or the Today Show. I know him. That name sounds familiar, but I wonder if he was like on MTV in the 90s or something. Kickstarter supporters or backers. Landlocked neighbor of Georgia and Azerbaijan. That's how you say it. Azerbaijan. That's Armenia. Sneaks a peek. Glances. Had a feeling about. Sensed. Grows dim. Darkens. Magazine whose 50th anniversary issue featured Naomi Campbell on the cover. Essence magazine. Legendary as one's past. Storied. State school who students who Rock Chalk Jayhawk. That's Kansas, apparently. Pellet chomping arcade character, Pac-Man. Eric Carl. I was trying to think of his name. I could not remember his name. I said Dahl, but that's like Roald Dahl. I just finished reading his whole book series with my kids. Carl. Eric Carl. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Very clever book. I mean, my kids could probably quote that one to you. Items strapped to a golf cart. Golf bags. Those bags. Cool. All right. There it goes. Cool. All right. Where do we start? How about train? I like trains. Oh, no way. And it gave us 3 letters. Holy smokes. Okay. But they're all in the wrong place. That's okay. That's all right. How about a non-intersecting word? A word that uses only those other letters, like ploys. No help. That's okay. One more non-intersecting word. It'd be nice to have at least like one more letter. Something we can get rid of the E and the U at the same time. That would be nice. There's one. Fumed. Oh, hey, look at that. We got an E and it's in the right place even. So it's not an ED word. It could be like ER. Could be ER. So it could be like is that a word? Cider? Let's try it. Oh, it's not. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, if the T can't go at the first and the T can't go at the third, that means this is an ET word. Interesting. So is it like French? Okay, so imagine if it was like R-I blank E-T. Could be rivet. Could be... Let's try that. Rivet. Okay. Rivet. Nice. I have planted a couple of rivets in my life. That's cool. Okay, we got it on the 5th today. That's okay. That is okay. So I started with train. I like trains. What was that from? ASDF comics or something. I forget. Train, T-R-A-I-N, and that gave us 3 letters. And then I tried a non-intersecting word that did not help us at all, ploys. And then I tried fumed, and I got 1 letter, and it was in the right place. That was the E. So it's either an ED. No, it can't be ED. So I thought ER, and then in my next guess, I guessed ER, and it didn't work. So it must be where it's the T was in the wrong place. T's not at the beginning. T's not at the 3rd letter. And T is not, well, T might be at the end then. Like, where else would it go? So it's an ET word. I'm thinking French or rivet. And then I tried citer. Someone that cites something is a citer. And then the I is correct. The E is correct, but the T was not in the right place, nor was the R. So the R probably goes at the beginning. Not likely it goes in the middle there. So it's R-I blank E-T, and the only one I could think of there was rivet. Nice. Okay, Hey, we are going so quick on these puzzles today. This is great. Okay, so let's click the strands. Hunt and peck. Hunt and peck. These are terms usually used for someone that does not know how to type very well. Sorry if any of you are listening, but have you seen the younger generation type? Oh, man. You remember you and I, older, that took typing classes, right? We had our keyboarding classes on the computer. These computers that are, so new, and you were lucky to have a computer lab in your middle school, and we had typing class, and then we played Oregon Trail to pass the time, that kind of thing, or, stupid whatever games there were. Yeah, wow, okay, so the kids now know how to do the handheld type, but they don't know how to do the home row, QWERTY typing. A lot of them, I should say, just watching kids in school, and I say, oh, here's our new project. Here's, make a folder and type it, and they go dink, dink, dink to type it. Like, what? It's interesting to see technology evolve. It's interesting to see, hey, you know what? If you are of that generation, you're younger, and you do know how to type, if you've got your keys on, you got your fingers on F and J on the home row to start off to type, let me know. Prove me wrong. Just the kids in my class, when I tell them to type things, they're dink, dink, dink. They're pushing buttons, one by one. Hunt and peck, right? That's what it's called, hunt and peck. So what are some things about hunt and peck? I see words that probably don't go together. I see glee. I like starting with the corners. Sometimes the corners give things away. Like I'm putting letters together, see if they go together. I feel like in the top left here, RT might go together. Or TR. I'm not seeing a ton here. What, there's OO. I wonder if OO goes together. I'm trying to rearrange these letters in my head. Dolor. No, that means pain in Spanish. Was it glee? Let's try glee. It's not glee. Hunt and peck. I see ER. There's nothing near this. I was going to say like CK, but there's not a CK. There's an NK. Hunt and peck. Is this not about keyboarding or typing? Is it about like chickens that hunt and peck? Or man. I think once we're able to pin down the hint or the theme, it'll go a lot better. But right now I'm trying to figure out what the like hint even means, the theme even means. Man. Stank. All right. I think we need help. Hunt and peck. Hawk. Hawk like Tony Hawk? Or hawk like that meme that was real popular a couple months ago? You're not helping me much here. Hawk. What is that even? What? I mean, they're birds. Birds hunt and peck, right? So is it just like birds of prey? Eagle. Okay, now I'm starting to see. Eagle. Oh, here. I bet this is a spangram. What do you see? Raptors. There you go. Birds of prey, raptors. Oh, vulture. T-U-R-E, vulture. Oh, I'm on it right here. Osprey. E-O-S-P-R-E-Y, osprey. Condor. D-O-R. Okay. Oh, here's one. Falcon. Oh, and a kestrel. Kestrel, there we go. Okay. All it took was kind of cracking open that theme. The theme wasn't making a lot of sense to me. Hunt and peck. I'm thinking like hunt and peck on a keyboard, on a typing. I don't know. Sometimes it takes a while, It takes a while to sort of to fully figure it out. We did okay though. Look, so we needed the hint because I'm like, what on earth does all this mean? All these letters don't go together. But I saw, I used the hint for hawk. And I'm thinking, what do you mean hawk? Like Tony Hawk? Who knows? And then of course a hawk hunts and it pecks, and I'm like, well, duh, of course. So then I saw eagle, and then I saw vulture, and then I saw the spangram came out. It was raptors. I think the Utah bird of Utah, or the state bird of Utah, is the raptor. There's a raptor something. You think of dinosaurs when you think raptors, but the Utah raptor, I believe, is a state bird. Falcon, and then I saw condor and kestrel. Kestrel was the last one that I saw. Cool. All right, so let's do letterboxed. Oh man, another tricky one where you have to do it in 4 words. Sometimes they give you more words, but then the letters are harder. So it looks like there's ER. So we can do TER. There's no S. All right, let's read off the letters, familiarize ourselves with the puzzle. We've got C, L, E, P, V, T, A, O, U, I, G, and R. Lots of vowels. That's good. Lots of vowels, but these vowels can't go together. Right? Like an OA or something. Can't do that. So, what are going to be our tough letters? Maybe G, because there's no N. I can't go like ING. And what can that go with? Like if I said gator. I can't do alligator because IG right there. Little tricky. Let's keep that one in mind. Gator. I think P and V are going to be hard to do as well. So maybe we should get those out of the way too. How about vapor? That's a good word. Okay. R is tricky because there aren't a ton of words that can go like consonant for R. Let's think about this. Okay, gator's a good word. Vapor is a good word. Oh, there's no N. Ah, dang it, there's no N. I was going to go proven. I could say prove. That's a fine word. That's a great word. Prove. And there's no N. I was going to say egalitarian. An eagle-ite is someone that... Oh, that's an eagle-ite was someone that really believes in equality, right? All right, we'll start over on that one. Egalitarian doesn't work because there's no N and the couple of letters that don't go together. Well, prove is a good word too. Let's remember that one. I should have a little sticky notepad or something to do these puzzles. Gator, prove, and I already forgot the vapor. Eagle, or not eagle. Oh, can we do eagle? E, A, G, L. No, we can't do L-E. Okay. Well, I can do ITE words. What if I did, what's another? I do feel like we can get something out of the letter R here. Like RE. There's plenty of RE words. There's no N. Again, there's no N. I was going to say retune. Reglue. Yes, it is. Something comes apart because you glued it and you need to re-glue it. You're kidding. Reglue is not. R-E-A-G. No, I'm spelling it wrong. R-E-G-A-L. Regal. There we go. There's no D. Can't do L-E. Man. That is... yes, it is. What dictionary are we pulling from today? Lacrimal. Something having to do with tears is lacrimal. There's no S. Lactose. Could say lactose. How about just lacto? Man, I keep pulling these words that I think are words and they're not words. Lacto. Doesn't that sound like... Here, how about lactic? Lactic is a word. Okay, so now we just need one more word. So C... How about group? Yes, it is. Group. What? Am I spelling it wrong? C-R-O-U. I can't do O-U. Oh, dear. C. How about this? Cut. There you go. Cut. Is that a word? Oh, my goodness. Oh, dear. Vapor led us to the word regal. And then the L, I found the word lactic in our puzzle. Like lactic acid. And then the C, all we needed left was the U. Probably should have left that for earlier, not later. But cut. I just needed the U. So I'm like, what word here? I was overthinking. I was trying for croup, but it was spelled wrong. O-U. There's no O-U in this puzzle. So I just said cut. Just to cut it off. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's look at our progress today. We did all right. 4 groups of 4 in the connections. Take issue with is to challenge, to contest, to dispute, and to question. Let's see. Tint. You might say it's a hue or a shade or a tinge of color or a tone. Components of a mystery, an alibi, a clue, a detective, and a suspect. That's great. The daily connection to my life there is that my child right now is in a play called Clue, based on the old, Tim Curry movie. Oh, and it's very clever, and it's a lot of it is improvised on the fly. It's very fun. I shouldn't say a lot of it. It's all mostly on the script, but to strike a chord, to strike a deal, strike a match, and strike a pose. I'm going to tell her, and she's going to be so excited to hear that the word clue is in the connections today. All right, we had to go through all of these over and over. We had to do the across hints and the down hints, and then back to the across hints and back to the down hints. But eventually we got it. Computing platform, question mark. Question mark means it's a stretch answer, right? It's a gimmick answer. So it's not Apple or Windows, it's a desk. Computing platform. Campanelle is a bell-shaped variety of pasta. We looked it up. I opened a tab, and it's kind of looks like a drywall anchor. And then it gets cooked into this kind of beautiful floret sort of thing. It's beautiful. Carson Daly of the Today Show. I do not watch the Today Show because I am working at that time of day. But Carson Daly, I was trying to remember what he was from. If Carson Daly was the... I swear he was on like what was it? Like Total Request or something. Was it Total Request? Is that the name of the word? On MTV. I'm getting old, guys. They haven't done that show in decades. Total Request Live. TRL, I think it was called. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look him up. Because, is that actually it? Carson Daly. Oh, he was totally on MTV. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so MTV. Yeah, he was a video jockey on MTV's Total Request Live, TRL, from 1998 to 2003. You guys, I'm getting so old. Oh, no. I remember things from last century. Oh, gosh, that's so funny. Total Request Live. Okay, Carson Daly. He was on MTV. That's where I remember him. I didn't even know he was on the Today Show. There you go. Kickstarter supporters are called backers. Landlocked neighbor of Georgia and Azerbaijan. Isn't that how you say it? I used to think it was Azerbaijan, or most people pronounced it that way. But Azerbaijan. Sneaks a peek, glances. Had a feeling about, sensed. I sense that I'm doing very well at this puzzle. Grows dim, darkens. I had never heard of this one. Magazine whose 50th anniversary issue featured Naomi Campbell on the cover. Essence? Is that a magazine? Essence magazine? That's a new one. I have my Photoshop class make like a magazine cover where they are on the cover of the magazine. We learn about the type tool and different tools, and nobody has ever made an Essence magazine. So apparently it's been around for 50 years, but I have never seen it. Storied, legendary as one's past. You have a storied past. State school whose students chant Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. That's a new one to me. That's Kansas State. Pellet chomping arcade character is Pac-Man. Gotta love Pac-Man. I was trying to think of this guy's name. I have read in the past his books all the time for my kids. The Very Hungry Caterpillar was Eric Carle. It was very clever because when you open the book, I'm sure as a kid you read it too, but as you get to the part where he starts eating the different things, it starts with like actual holes in the book, and there are pages that have holes in them, and you get progressively larger pages that have more and more holes in them, and he's eating more and more things, and then he has a tummy ache at the end. It's a very clever book. Not only it's storytelling, but like the visual story to it as well, because the book itself changes shape as you read. Items strapped to a golf cart are your bags. Easy peasy. Okay, now if you haven't done the Wordle yet and you don't want to see it, avert your eyes because I'm going to show you the Wordle here. Okay, so we started, my strategy is to just sort of come up with any old word, and today it was train, and it just so happened to have 3 of the letters. And then I like coming up with a non-intersecting word, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 if I really don't get it. I have 3 letters, so I'm thinking, all right, maybe I'll do one more word that'll give me some arrangement of letters that can help me, maybe one more letter. And it didn't. Train, and then I said ploys, which doesn't involve any of those letters. And then that didn't help at all. And then fumed, another non-intersecting word, and the E was there, but nothing else. But the E's in the right place. So I'm thinking, it's not an ED word. We just tried fumed. It's ER, and then I try, I'm thinking of words with an ER. Citer, someone that cites things is a citer. But it gave me the I, and then the T is not in the right place. It's not at the beginning, it's not in the middle, so it has to be at the end. So I'm thinking ET, maybe it's like a French word. And then the R could go in the middle, but I can't think of a word that's like IRET, pirouette or something. There's no 5-letter words that do that. So I'm thinking maybe it's at the beginning. So RI blank ET. And the only thing I could think of that makes sense here is rivet. So we ended up with rivet. Today's Strands was very clever. We did that one just recently, only about 10 minutes ago or so. The hunt and peck. Oh, here I got to go to the... There we go. That makes more sense to you guys. So I was thinking of all these different words of like typing or something. Hunt and peck, right? I never thought I'd be one of those people. I always told myself, never say kids these days. But as I get older and older, the difference between generations and their humor and their interests and different things is such a stark difference now. And one of the stark differences is what I learned, and I just thought was, everybody knows that, are things that are not taught anymore or are not valued anymore. For example, less and less kids write in cursive, of course. That's kind of the meme that, it's some hidden secret language that nobody knows anymore. It's not taught in schools. I learned cursive. I had a whole, class on cursive writing. Am I good at cursive? I mean, I don't have the best handwriting in the world, but I do know cursive, and of course I can read it. Kids have a very hard time reading analog clocks, circle clocks. When I tell kids to go, do something clockwise, and they're like, what do you mean clockwise? Because they don't read analog clocks anymore. Their humor is different. I say, they don't write in cursive. They don't write much at all anymore. The digital age, the digital literacy, when I asked them to take notes, a lot of kids would rather take notes in a Google Doc than on paper. I asked them to bring a paper notebook to school, but honestly, they don't. Most of the kids would choose to open up a Google Doc and take notes on a Google Doc instead. And one of the things that really surprises me is a lot of kids, I wouldn't say the majority of kids, but a lot of kids, because they didn't have kind of that digital literacy class that we had, in middle school, maybe even elementary school, learning how to type, putting your fingers on the home row and, typing as our generations do. It's so interesting when I ask kids to type something or create a folder and then rename it, and they are going finger by finger, pushing all the buttons to type, clicking the keys on the keyboard. I don't know, it's crazy. If they could do it with their thumbs. I bet with their thumbs typing on a phone, they could do it, 40 times faster than me. But to do it just on a typing keyboard, that is crazy to see that evolution of what's important in the school system and what's important in the legislature and the core curriculum and all that. Sadly, I think some of those decisions are made outside of teachers' control. It's a sad thing when someone that has never been in the trenches before makes policies that affect us teachers in the trenches. And I'm like, you don't know what this is like. I would love anybody that wants to make a law or pass some bill or something to spend a week doing what I do, and they'd go, whoa, no, you're fine the way you are. Like they would. I don't need to intervene here. Just let us do our thing. We know what we're doing. You don't need to make some crazy like rules or laws or anything. I don't know. They're talking about union busting basically here in Utah, and it's sickening. And then I don't know. I shouldn't speak evil of anybody, but there are some people in high places that should not be saying what they're saying. And acting the way they're acting. It's just, if you knew half of what I do on a daily basis in a school, you would not be making policies about it. Just let me run my own thing. So I don't know. It's just crazy. It's overstep. It's overreach, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so what does that have to do with today's Strands? Absolutely nothing. Especially where I got off on that tangent because the theme was hunt and peck, which is like, pecking with your fingers to type on a keyboard. And it has nothing to do with that. That was a red herring at best. Hunt and peck. What it really was, we actually had to use the hint for the first one because I was just, I don't know. I was stuck on hunt and peck like on a keyboard. I was looking for keyboarding terms, words or something, but it wasn't that. It was actually hunters and the birds that peck, right? Hunt and peck, like a hawk, right? It's a bird of prey. And then I saw eagle. That's a bird of prey. And then osprey and vulture came out. And then I saw the actual spangram right there. Raptors, the state bird I think of Utah is the Utah raptor. Falcon, condor, and then the last one I saw was kestrel. I'd forgotten that word, kestrel. Kind of cool. Okay, and then I'll leave you with the letterboxed. Okay. Vapor, right? There's a couple of tricky letters on here. There was no S and there was no N. Almost every word that I tried to come up with had an N in it, and I couldn't use it. But I ended up with vapor, and then R led us to regal. I was thinking of RE words. And apparently reglue is not a word, in case you're wondering. If you break something that's been glued and you have to re-glue it, that is technically not a word in the dictionary, apparently. Who knew? Regal. And then the L led us to lactic, like lactic acid. And then the C at the end. I just needed the U. Just the last letter I needed with that fourth word was just cut. There it is. Okay. I like leaving you with a challenge. Today, on this hopefully relaxing Saturday, we've got a lot going on, or maybe you're just kind of taking it easy. What was our poll? Let's see our poll here. Top chat. How was your week? Okay. Well, thank you, one vote, for telling me that you had a busy week. I had a productive week, but man, it was kind of both. It was busy and productive. I got a lot of things done. You feel satisfied with yourself when you've done so many things like that. But I have been super, super busy, but also satisfyingly productive. It can't be boring. At least I don't think it is. People are answering in. Well, thank you for that. Somebody said, yes, it is boring, right? If you had a boring week, that's okay. Sometimes we just go through the motions. Yeah, it's awesome. Something funny happened. Nothing funny happened, or nothing fun happened this week. I don't know. I like leaving you with a challenge. So if you did have a boring week, figure out today a way to spice it up so that you don't have a boring week next week. Maybe like you like the mundane, you like the boring, right? But what's something to kind of spice it up? For example, at work, maybe it's something as simple as bringing a new mug and putting it on your desk and it says something funny on it. Or do something out of the ordinary. Go to the thrift store, right? Do something that's just sort of out of your usual comfort zone. If you had a boring week this week, just take, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, and do something totally outside of the ordinary, something you wouldn't usually do. And you may find that those things just brighten your week a little bit, right? Brighten your day, and you make a new core memory, because if instead of doing the mundane over and over and over, you do something completely out of the ordinary. So, all right, that's my challenge for you. You guys are awesome. Thanks for a great stream. This has been fun. We've been at it for, over an hour already. Holy cow. Well, we did a lot of fun things. Let's see. What game is this and how do you play it? Oh, great question. You know what I should do? I should put the links to these games in the description so you can see them. I am playing a variety of games from the New York Times. So if you go to nytimes.com/games, it will bring up a whole bunch of games. Now, if you have the New York Times subscription, then you can play basically a lot of their games. Some of their games you need a subscription to. But there's Connections, which is creating 4 groups of 4, linking those words together somehow. It's a blast. It's so fun. And sometimes they go together in really unique, kind of stretchy ways. The mini crossword, of course, is just a really great crossword, right? It's not an hour and a half long crossword puzzle. It's very, very manageable. It's only, about 20 hints or less. Super doable. I'm sure you've heard of the Wordle, but if you haven't, it's coming up with a 5-letter word, sort of like the old game Mastermind, right? You put out a word, and if it's a correct letter but it's in the wrong place, it will show yellow. If it's the correct word or the correct letter in the wrong place, that's yellow. If it's the correct letter in the right place, then it will show up green. And if you kind of use the logic, there's only 26 letters, and so as we kind of rearrange those letters, you kind of line them up and try to figure out what the word was. That one's very doable. You have 6 guesses. Hopefully you get it within the 6. Usually I get it on the 4th because of my strategy. I come up with just any old word. I try to just think of a word, and then whatever that tells me, the second one, I try to come up with a non-intersecting word, like a word that doesn't use any of those first letters from the word I used. And then if I need it, usually I'll come up with a third non-intersecting word. And then by then I've got 15 letters out on the board, and that will tell me what I do have, what I don't have. And almost from the process of elimination, it tells you what you do have by what you don't have. You know what I mean? And so by the 4th, it's usually pretty obvious. I have, 3 letters, 4 letters, and I can rearrange them, and maybe there's 1 or 2 things that come together. And that's just super fun. I mean, all of these, right, really stretch your brain. They really stretch your brain. The Strands puzzle, you can see here right there the name on the bottom. And funny enough, I do them in rainbow order. I don't mean to do that. I started doing the puzzles, Connections, and then mini crossword, and then Wordle, and then Strands, and then letterboxed. And it just so happened that the order of the logos happen to be in rainbow order, which I think is really funny. And then this last one is letterboxed. And letterboxed is so fun. You get 12 letters that are arranged around, on the 4 sides. There's 3 on each side, 4 sides. And you have to make words, and the letters after you make a word crossing around. Oh, and by the way, the letters, you can't use two letters that are next to each other. So I can't make an LE word. I can't make an IR word, or an an OA, like boat or something. OA, can't do that one. So that those couple of letters can't go together. But you can span across, right? We're kind of making this web across all the sides to try and create these words. And then the first letter of the second word has to be the same as the last letter of the first word, right? And so they link together. Vapor ends with an R. The second one starts with an R. See what I mean? And then regal ends with an L, and then the next one has to be with an L. And then you have so many words. This one you can see there. Solve it in 4 words. And I have only so many guesses before, oh, sorry, you solved it in 5 or 6. Sometimes I try to do even better. It sure helps when you have like a college level vocabulary to think of bigger words. Someone with maybe an elementary school vocabulary wouldn't think of the word regal or lactic, but with a larger vocabulary, it does definitely help. And I think it helps to stretch your vocabulary. My grandpa and my dad and I, we would do the crossword puzzles together, right? We'd kind of attack it together, and if we saw something real cool, we'd, add it to there. And I would do the jumble together with my dad and my grandpa. They would teach me, how to rearrange the letters, and this very much feels like the jumble, just in a larger context. The New York Times has all sorts of games. They've got the full crossword puzzle. They have one called Spelling Bee that is it as a free version. If you don't have the subscription, usually they have the subscription sort of at a discount. But the Spelling Bee, you can only get to kind of level 1, and then beyond that you have to go further. You have to have a subscription for that. Wordle is free, and I hope it's always free because it's a blast, and that would be fun for everyone to do all the time. Tiles is a really nice game. I wonder if I can show you this. I don't know. My monitor doesn't really, because I'm vertical here, but I'm looking at it on a larger screen. Can I show that one? Not really. No, not Super Mario World. Anyway, I'm trying to find a way that you can see this. There's Spelling Bee, there's Wordle, there's Strands, the Connections puzzle, Letterbox, Tiles. Oh, and then Sudoku, of course. Sudoku. Sorry, I can't really show it on this one. I should have a preset where I can see. I've got kind of these presets. They look silly with the other one, but they look perfect for the one that I'm in. Right, so if I hit here, or if I go here and then click this, then I can go back to Letterboxd. These are presets I have set up in OBS. Awesome. If you ever start live streaming, use OBS, Open Broadcast Software. So good. And because I only have, my subscription, I just have the one play per day. That's okay. Yeah, they look fun and challenging. Absolutely, they are. They stretch your brain. They definitely stretch your brain. And before you know it, a whole hour has gone by, like we have today, and you learned something. Even just today, I remembered some old facts that I had forgotten when I was a kid. Like, for example, Carson Daly. I thought, man, I know that name. Where do I know that name from? I know Carson Daly from MTV when I was a tiny child watching MTV Total Request Live. And I was like, no way. Is that the same guy? And I Googled him, and sure enough, it is. Or like, what's this? Oh, the Campanelle. That's a new one to me. Campanelle bell-shaped pasta. And I Googled that one too. Some of these things you're like, wow, never heard of these before. And you end up, kind of learning something new every day. So that's awesome. Okay, awesome. I got to take off. There are a couple things I need to do during my day, and then a couple of fun things we're doing tonight too. So it's been really great. So thanks for an awesome stream. Thanks for learning a bunch with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.